everyone, and welcome back to Lindsay's Little Library. Snickers says hi. You're such a pretty kitty. Anyways, welcome back. So a few weeks ago, Amanda was here visiting me and was beyond helpful and generous and lovely, and agreed to help me rearrange my bookshelves. So if you notice, the color-coded, really beautiful, aesthetically pleasing bookshelves are gone. As much as I loved that look, it became very overwhelming. I had a hard time finding books. I double bought some books because I didn't realize that I had them. I had multiple copies of 20 different books. Anyways, I mean, it happens, right? But because I wasn't really able to find anything, and I was more based on color cover instead of truly by author and by genre, which is how my brain tends to think when I'm looking for things. So we took every single book off of this bookshelf, which ended up being a huge pile. I'll throw a picture in and show you the insanity that it was. And we went through every single one of them. I have a large pile of books over here that Stormy is demonstrating for me that will be going on Pango. So if you're watching this video, start paying attention to my Pango shop, because I'll start uploading a handful or so a day if you're interested in, taking advantage of the 20 books that I had 2 copies of. Or the books that I have read and enjoyed and I just don't need to have on my shelves anymore. They are all fantastic reads. Not getting rid of them because they're horrible books. I really needed to take a hard look at what I have and really just contain them to my bookshelves, because it was just starting to take over my life. So I thought I'd come on, I'd show you kind of where and how I've organized them now. I know I watched a few bookshelf organization videos to kind of land on how I was going to tackle mine. So if it's helpful for somebody, fantastic. Or if you just kind of want to see what I have on my shelves, here we are. I'm not going to go through each individual book, but I'll give you a general overview of kind of where everything is and how I have it sorted out. It is maybe a little different than as simple as by genre and then by author, because some things I have pulled up in different areas as well. So let's take a look at what I have. Okay, I'm going to attempt to do this without being too wobbly for everybody, but here is my entirety of my bookshelves. They take up an entire wall in what would be kind of the formal dining room in our house, but we don't formal dine. So I took it over for my library. So as you can tell, I have 4 bookshelves that are kind of the wider and then 2 skinny ones. And so this is what I wanted to work with and the confines I wanted to stay in, with an asterisk for this bookshelf over here, but we'll get to that in a little bit. So knowing I had this restriction and taking a look at what books we did have. So what we started with, we took every single book off and we separated them in piles based on genre. So then looking at the piles that I had, I kind of could figure out where they would sort of kind of fit within the space. So my first grouping of shelves here, that's all of my contemporary romance, rom-coms, that type of a very broad genre. And it's all by author here. And so really interesting to see books like how many Diane Chamberlains I have. I ended up just putting all my Diane Chamberlains together up here, even though there are some that would be considered historical fiction. I just wanted them all together. Same with my Jodi Picoult books that are all down here. She's got a few that could be more in my historical fiction field over here, which now that I'm saying that is probably not, because I don't have all my Kristen Hanna books there. Anyways, it made sense in my head. So here's all of my rom-com, romance, contemporary, that general genre. Now I did have to do a little piling down here because we kind of ran out of space. So my goal is to read enough off of these shelves to get everything in there so we're not double stacked. we'll see how long that takes me. Then we're gonna move into our historical fiction, which takes up this first bigger bookshelf and then this skinnier one. And we go by author, starting there all the way down and then back up and all the way down. So this is where I found a bunch of duplicates because there was different covers for hardcovers and paperbacks. And so when I'm trying to remember by color, it didn't really help. So definitely love my historical fiction. Oh, I love my historical fiction. I got so excited looking at some of these books and wanting to read them. So good. And you can tell I have some space down there to add to it, which I don't plan on it. Hold me accountable. But for example, this is one I did not realize that I had this many Jennifer Ryan books. I've got 3 of them. Have I read any of them? No. But I have 3 of them. Same with my Beatrice Williams. Sorry if that was a little fast. Got a whole stack of them. So a little eye-opening for sure. All right, then we go into my mystery thrillers I put all together. So they start here, go down, and then back up here, which is interesting as to how colorful we start on this side, and then as we get over here, we get a little darker, but it makes sense, right? So these are all my mystery thrillers. It is bothering me that like this isn't by size, you know? It is by author. So I'm tempted to rearrange it so it would be more by size and not mismatch there. My OCD is kind of not liking that. I don't have OCD, I should not say that, but yeah, it's not quite what I wanted. But we're making it work, right? And then over here I have like my fantasy, magical realism-ish books. I don't have a lot of them. And honestly, like this whole shelf, I've read almost every single one of them. And I've read a chunk up there too. So we just don't have as many. I'm not quite as big of a fantasy reader as I used to be. But I still have some I'm interested in. And then this is where I kind of pull out and make it my own thing. So right here we have our Christmas books, except the Riley Sager, not a Christmas book. And then a few books over here are books I have to give back to people that I'm borrowing from them. So all of my Christmas ones here, which is really nice to have, especially, you know me, I'm a atmospheric reader. So around Christmas time, I like me some Christmas books. So I have them all together. And then down here, I have books that I'm reading next are here. And then everything else on that shelf are all of the book of the month books that I've already read. Because I like those separate. I don't know why, I just do. And then below that, these last 2 shelves down here are my nonfictions, memoirs, all of that stuff, which I don't have a ton of. So all of my middle grade books went downstairs by the rest of my kids' books because they don't need to be on this shelf. And then I have the pile of books that I'm going to be putting onto Pango. Some are recently read ones that I read. Some are duplicates that I have. There's some middle grade books in there. There's quite the stack. And actually Amanda was really great. And she would just put books over there that she's like, we're not reading this one anymore. So that's it. There's the new background. So far, again, really liking it. I'm seeing books that I wouldn't have normally gravitated towards, especially how I had the color coding done. All of my white books were on the top, and I really wasn't looking at those when I would kind of be in my mood reading. And I did forget to show you one more thing. By Snickers, those are all my book of the month books that I still have to read. And why I'm keeping those over there, because I'm really wanting to make that effort to like get as many book of the month books just read and moved. So I did end up keeping those a little bit separate because the ratio between the book of the month books that I've read to what I haven't read is not great. So we just left those alone. And they are still in rainbow order, which is still pretty, right? Anyways, it was a good time. I am super thankful to Amanda for helping me out. We were both like, It was a workout, my friend. Ugh. I don't think I would have done it on my own, so I'm super thankful that she was here. I have taken a bunch, I had a bunch of ARCs that I've already donated to for the libraries, as well as I took some to my local library. And then I'll go through and get some stuff on Pango, and I might take a few more over to the library as well. So we're doing a little bit of both. But yeah, my Pango link is below, so check that out. Like I said, I'm going to kind of slowly be uploading them over the next week or so. So if there's one that you're looking for, just keep checking back because there's some good stuff in there. Maybe I'll do a little short every day that shows what I'm putting up. That's a good idea. Good idea, Lindsey. Anyways, let me know if you've rearranged your bookshelves or how you arrange your bookshelves. I'd love to have those ideas because will it stay like this forever? Probably not, but that's all right. I love it. Otherwise, comment below, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I'll see you next time. Bye.